Happy New Year, y'all. This is your boy Gerald. It is 2017. Let me say that again. 2017. You might not realize how prolific this year will be, but you'll come to understand as the things that have been waiting, the actions that have been spoken. You know, those seeds that were planted long time ago, it may have slipped your mind. They're going to be birthed out. That's right. Oh, yes. You didn't actually think because it crossed your mind or crossed your heart, there was not going to be, it wasn't going to resonate, did you? Did you actually Did you actually believe that? Did you actually give up hope on that? Did you actually think, well, it'll never come? It's just another thought that is meaningless. No, no. This is all about the process. This is all about what defines you, the makings of you, the progression. That's right. So I had to put this out for somebody. Because see, right now, you may be in a plateau. You may be in the valley of your life and you're looking at, from one side, responsibilities of your day to day, and then on the other side, the hopes and dreams. And then there is you trying to figure it out, trying to navigate it, trying to find balance. Well, you're going to get that and some. Because see, 2017 is going to be that validation year, y'all. You know how I've always echoed through the years, you can't run from you? Well, 2017 is going to be just that. And I commend you on that because you're going to actually see not only how strong you are, you're going to understand the value of your life, but you're going to understand what separates you from the rest. That's not a bad thing because some of you will finally find comfort in your being. Your spiritual being, that little boy, that little girl that lives in you. Yeah, the person that looks outside that beautiful face. Yeah, the real you. See, I have a feeling I see somebody standing before a mirror and they are wiping off the distraction. They are releasing the change and they are having the courage to allow themselves to breathe, to just be. Who am I talking to? Well, let me throw this out there for you. You know that uneasiness that you're feeling right now because it's unknown? That's the real you. And you will find the more that you gravitate to that, you'll be able to connect to what really matters, what has been tried and true all along. Because, see, there'll never be another you. You do understand that. I think I've ingrained that in your psyche a long time ago, but you needed proof. You wanted to unequivocally have no doubt. Your validation is you woke up. Let's not make light of that. You woke up. That right there should tell you you got work to do. You can't hear this in the background, but I gotta bump this, right? Because this is gonna be your theme. That's right. Because some of y'all are gonna kick in 2017 with a with such a drive. And for those that have done this, put you in a certain perspective, it's going to shake them up to the core. They're not going to understand why you have so much drive and focus. But, but don't worry about it. Let your actions speak for you, because your actions speak louder than any word that could fall from that beautiful mouth of yours. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. You didn't know that? That's why you don't judge somebody what they say. You judge them from their actions, because that is a barometer of their character. Who am I talking to? While the rest of the world is sleeping, while the rest of the world choose to keep the blinders on and just blindlessly go through life, you can't deny what you're feeling right now. You can't deny that, because there is something very powerful pulling you, guiding you. Well, that's God. That's God. Did you actually think because you went through that disappointment, that hardship of 2016? Because 2016 had a lot of pain connected to it. For those that are in numerology will know 2016 was a 9 year. 9 year represents culminations, endings, some with control, but a lot without. But even with the ending, there's a blessing connected to it. The blessing is the opportunity to take introspection of what you've witnessed. Do you realize in the last 365 days of your life, all the things you've seen, all the things that have been revealed, all the people that have come into your life, even for a mere moment, they were there divinely for your transformation. That's why if you don't know you won't know a blessing when you see it. Even in times of disappointment. I know there's somebody right now is like, boy, I'm so glad I'm not there no more, Jerry. If you understood, some people woke up and they realized that the emotional shackles that they had, they ain't there no more. They're actually on the floor. They've been released from their pain. Well, I'm here to tell you, as long as you understand the worth, the value, and the reasoning why, but yet be authentic with yourself to understand that you had to be put in that position to spark that growth, you won't return back to it, because that was required to foster your insight, to polish your wisdom. And that is how you understand what a lesson is compared to a blessing. Now, I know some of y'all have this mindset too, because some of y'all have this, you. So, well, I'm a realist, Gerald. If I don't see it in my hand, I don't have possession. It ain't real, but yet you feel it, and it makes you feel a certain kind of way because you're trying to rationalize tangible logic based off of the spiritual. You're not crazy. You do understand it, right? But you are required to claim your life back, because nobody can live your life. You can't use the same blueprint that you saw people in your circle thinking you're going to get the same outcome. No, because guess what? They're living their lives and you have to live yours. Now, here's the contrast. You know, all those people in the cheap seats? Mhm. You know, you don't even have to bring up the names. You know who, because when I said that, your heart said flip, flip. Mm-hmm. Your throat kind of got tight. Him, yeah. They're sitting over there and they have a mindset of, you're going to fall, you're going to fail. And they're just waiting for the process to take place to validate their perception on you. Who am I talking to? Here's the blessing out of that. That just validates that that person never had best interest for your life. And that's why there is a contrast. That's why there is a friction. There is conflict there. Why? Because you're not like-minded anymore. So the strings have been cut. And they said, well, you don't need my strings and you fall. Well, maybe if you fall, you'll land on your feet. It might feel a little foreign right now because you ain't used to standing on your feet and you got to build up them leg muscles. Who am I talking to? You got to build up that foundation that keeps you elevated. You ever thought about that? Because anything of value, there is sacrifice. The sacrifice is the process. The process is measured with time. But the time is nothing but the understanding of what's required to live your life. Who am I talking to? You realize how many people are gonna got up this morning and did this? There you go. They just made millionaires out of new gym owners and pharmaceutical companies, and I give them an E for effort. I give them an E for effort. But you and I both know if it's not embraced in your heart, it will soon go as the wind blows. Who am I talking to? Oh, you realize that? Oh, yeah, there's a lot of people that are going to be on the coulda, woulda, shoulda train. Now, this ain't shade, y'all. This is not shade. But if you think that your life is going to shift gears like putting on a brand new pair of shoes and it's going to work, you're deceiving yourself. It don't work that way because the distraction may be the material and the color, the new cushion that's underneath the weight of your life. It's going to feel great at first, but can it stand the test of time? Can it give you the support of those old beat up shoes you got in the closet? Who am I talking about? You know those shoes. You can't throw them away even if you tried to, because those shoes have been there. They may have sentimental reason, but they represent who you really are. Who am I talking to? Maybe this is a year that all your dreams and aspirations, you ain't gonna be afraid to place ownership on what is rightfully there the whole time. Well, what do you mean you like to play the tuba? Yeah, I do. What do you mean you like to finger paint? Yeah, that's me. Does it bring you joy? Does it make your heart skip a beat? Whatever it may be, I'm just using those as examples. Because guess what? Maybe those gifts, those hobbies are tools that will open up doors that will show you your direction, and your direction will eventually earn you the right for you to understand what your purpose was, the reason of being. Can you honestly answer that question? Why are you here? Like how your elders would ask you when you would go to them for whatever reason. And before you come out your mouth, they look at you with this look of, what do you want? What do you want? And you're like, You know why they do that? Because they can see right through. They see the innocence. They know truth from distraction. But the reason why they do that is to see if you will claim it. Because anything that you're willing to claim will have underlining passion. You know what passion is, y'all? That is the expression of something that you would be willing to do. It spawns purity, love. It is nothing but a display of you. Think about it. Think about your life as if it was an onion. You know that smelly onion that when you around it over a period of time or you agitate it, what happens? You go to tears. Your tears come out. You know, you're blinking, and why are you blinking? Why are you blinking? It's the same thing as people when you think about it. People do the same thing. It's the effect of having possession of that moment. But here's the beautiful thing about it: if you allow yourself to be still. See, you can't put or lump yourself into one particular description. If someone was to ask who you were, they can't just say, this is Johnny Neckbone and this. They can't say that. They can't, because that would do an injustice, because you have that it just would do you a disservice. Hold that thought, y'all. I'll be right back. Let me take this. Hold on. I'm coming. Appreciate your patience. Give me 1 second. Gotta fill up my cup. All right. Okay. So as I was saying, you know what's funny is, even still in our society, people still today will not be honest. They're afraid to speak their truth because they desire acceptance. They, instead of wanting to be yourself, you heard people tell you this your whole life: be yourself, be yourself. Stop being a follower, be a leader. You can't be you can't be a leader if you don't know you, but you can't God through your life if you don't place God in front of it. You realize how many people are waking up doing this? What did I do? You realize how many people are starting their day in recovery and they're getting that phone call like, you know what you did? Huh? You realize what you were doing last night? That's not your story. It happens all the time though. You know, it's this, it's not a past, it's human nature because with that, you also have to identify this. Even though they don't want to admit this to you, because of human nature, human behavior, people always want what they don't have. They don't want to be comfortable in their own skin, and they take a less than mindset. Well, I would be happy, Gerald, if my hair was down my back. Okay, okay, well, grow it. Grow your hair. Take that step to change up your alchemy of your body. Why do you think your hair don't grow? Because the alchemy of your body is off. The nutrients that is required, you might not be using it. How about this? We want an instantaneous result in anything that we touch. And only thing the results in that is disappointment. Maybe this is a year that you're going to master your patience. Maybe that in that process, someone's saying right now, I'm going to establish a timeline. And in this timeline, I want to accomplish the following thing. Maybe this is going to be the year for somebody you're going to jump your credit score 250 points. Who am I talking to? Maybe this is going to be the year that you are going to take your health more serious because you already know what does not work. Somebody asked me, well, what's your aspiration for 2017? Well, number one, continue to place God first in everything I do. To do so, I have to give thanks and honor to Him because I didn't have to wake up to death. It is a divine domino effect, y'all. If you don't have life, you don't have to worry about desires or needs because it goes back to you. You know, that beautiful brain. That's your cash register right there. You understand that, right? The more you, the more that you educate yourself, opens up more possibilities from the mindset that you had previous to that. And I'm not listen. Maybe your direction is by way of you got to brush up on your skills. Who am I talking to? Maybe you might have to take some night classes. You might be very articulate, but you can't write. Listen, get off of your cloud and claim your rightful place. Don't you realize everything that you allow your pride and ego in front of? Guess who's sitting back there laughing at you? That devil. He's like, uh-huh. Because as long as you look at it and don't claim it and don't want to change it, fear is in between that buffer of your blessing and your reality. You know that, right? Just like the same energy you have when somebody's doing this. Oh, you quick to dun, 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 and want to tear up the town. Why don't you have that same Why don't you have that same uh, energy when it comes to your financial independence? Oh, that's something else, Gerald. Well, I gotta look at it seriously then. Why? That's why I keep echoing to you, family. Real men don't wear their wealth; they invest it. Which is kind of funny because you see this paradigm all the time. Remember that guy that you just said, hmm, I'm gonna go get what I'm gonna call Tyrone. And then Tyrone ends up being your nightmare. And that guy that God put in your life, you see him. Because you're gonna see that guy again. You do understand that, right? There was a reason why that person showed up in your life. Just depends on how long it takes for you to get it. Queen, you're not exempt. Guys, stop kicking yourself in the butt because of saving face. What's the point of saving face if you ain't grounded? You already take yourself out of the equation. You take yourself out of the equation. I'm gonna speak on this. I'm gonna because I got to. We have um if you look at the dynamic of the world is more or less a reality based uh it has a portal like effect. Everything is sensationalized for corporate America. Whoever owns the companies, they make the money. That's why I say the domino effect. Yeah, I will say hypothetically, CBS may own the show, but who owns CBS? You understand? And so who owns you? See, the end goal is to sway your perceptions because if you can sway a person's perceptions, you can influence their spending habits. Who am I talking to? Maybe this is a year y'all gonna say, well, I'm tired of being broke, Gerald, but I don't want to feel like the ugly Declan. You better embrace being unique. Let them discount you because the moment that you decide to get comfortable with who you are, you'll realize you were the black swan the whole darn time. Don't worry, your blessing is coming. It's coming. But what I wanted to say is because I had a young lady um, respond to me and she said, "Well, Gerald, there's not a lot of good men out here, and the pickings are thin. And why is that?" I, so I responded back. I said, "Number one, that's a lie. There's a lot of great men out there, but there's a shorter line when it comes to those who embrace their spirituality. So everything we attract comes from our spirit first. So if your environment is nothing but drama, it's because there's still lessons that you have to master yourself. But look, God had already told you. All he asks you to do is to prepare. That's why that person's not in your life right now because you need to focus on yourself. You need to subdue those passions. That's why positions and point of view that may that may be the reason behind how you act around certain situations. Well, newsflash, if it doesn't represent you by way of being transparent, it's going to fail. And when it fails, The opportunity right there is for you to see it. Like, okay, I understand why this failed because there's I'm not supposed to be doing this. There is something better. That's why I said don't trip on people that don't want to be in your life because the same people that don't want to be in your life didn't deserve to hear you breathe. And maybe that is the frustration that you're feeling because you have to accept the truth that they were acting by way of agenda. They wasn't going to come right out and tell you, well, I'm just here for now. No, I'll never marry you, but I will enjoy the ride. Who would do that? Same as why you have this mindset that you have some people say, you know what, Gerald, I'm tired of being alone. I'm tired of being alone, Gerald. I would accept a piece of a person. I see these I see these people out there and they just abuse that person and and if that was me, I would love them. Well, here's what you don't see, y'all. That person that getting abused, this is for somebody. Didn't I speak this into existence? I did, didn't I? Mm-hmm. Because this is somebody. Somebody's feeling this morning. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you feel this right now. Yeah. You know why? You know why you feel that way? Because it doesn't matter what's in the store. It's the act that they even thought of to see the value of you. Maybe what you really want is to feel emotionally safe. You know what that feels like? That feels like peace. That's like when somebody comes from behind you and puts their arms around you and brings you in, maybe kisses you on the side of the neck by that ear, just to let you know that they're there without saying a word. Mhm. I know some of y'all want that. Some of y'all are going to go through a major shedding. And I want to tell you, don't be afraid of it. It's going to be represented through your physical possessions, your emotional ties, as well as your health. You are going to go through a major shifting. Do not be afraid of it. Embrace it because that is nothing but the spiritual veil being used. Because, you know, God does get tired, right? Mm-hmm. And you know why you went through some of the things you went through? Because you convinced yourself that you could live life without God's influence. So God said, oh, really? Oh, really? Okay. Bam. Work that out. And as you try to get your way through it, like a fish going upstream, there was another setback. And you were still trying to make your way up. And there was another one. And it started to have an effect on your physical presence, effect on your psyche. You started getting paranoid, started to break down. That's because there were some demons trying to ride you, and they will ride you as long as you decide not to let those words fall from your lips. You know those words, Lord, help me. See, when you decide to be real with yourself, then God will be real with you. But as long as you think that you got it under control, don't 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 turn around. Don't get tied to what's going on because it's going to fall one by one by one. Now, for the person that said, Gerald, I feel like I've got 50 pounds of burden on my back and I'm barely seeing it through. That's because you've been indoctrinated for a period of time. And uh, 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 just like a detox, you got to do the same thing with your emotions. Now, do not think that you're going to be able to jump and do the treadmill, do the track meet, the marathon, and hit the road running. Because what's going to happen is you're going to trip, slip, and you're going to fall, and it's going to shake you to a point that you're going to end up going back to what you know because that's what you've been conditioned to know. Nah, see, that's how. Uh-uh. One step at a time. But before you can take that one step, you got to stand up. When you stand up, you look at your feet. Look at the foundation that it's on. Then take note of your environment. How about take note? When's the last time y'all turned around and assessed your friendships? You know you're supposed to do that, right? Just like you know that cell phone. When's the last time you went through that cell phone and looked at your contacts one by one and said, well, do you value my time? Do you help me grow? Do you love me? What kind of relationship do we have? And if you only know that, what's the reason? What's the reason they in your phone? If it's not to make the best you, get rid of them. Get rid of them. I actually say delete all of them. So I can't do that, Gerald, because then I need these numbers. Oh yeah? Well, most people won't do it because the truth of the reality is they don't do that because the reality of what will be shown is the value of that connection with that person. And some of y'all are terrified to know that answer, but you already know because you look at their behavior. If they don't claim you during the day, but they only gravitate to you at night, you're not priority. They have you in a point of no. But you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Oh, let me I'm gonna bring this home, y'all, but I did want to point this out too. How many of y'all have noticed they've got that show called APD or something where they it's like cops, but it's real time. Why does that have the makings of a police state? I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but so but think about it. They're making shows. They're doing a show off of someone's bad behavior, but they're profiting off of it. So if they're being comfortable to show this in real time, what else are they seeing? What are they showing? They don't need to put a chip in your head or because we do that on our own. It's called your cell phone. It's called that Bluetooth that you wear, or how about the Bluetooth leash? That's a leash, right? You know that's a leash, and that's trackable. They don't need your permission because you will never own your cell phone service, just as well as you will never own your media service either. I'm just saying, God's got something so special for you. But the question should be asked is this: do you want to change it? Because people always want what they don't have. The question should be why? Why can't you claim it by your integrity? Because that means you got to be real with yourself. That means you got to be transparent with your feelings. You know your emotions. You know your emotions are nothing but the colors of your spirit. You know that, right? They bring the contrast and the impact where the events occur. Because these are you. So why are you sitting over there mad because he ain't calling you? Why you frustrated because she act like she don't know you? Don't trip. Do not trip. See it for what it is. Focus that energy back on yourself. Because you know that ugly duckling? You know the ugly duckling? When that ugly duckling decided to go on its own path and left the farm, that ugly duckling learned to love itself. And guess what happened? It grew. And God showed through reflection of who you really were. Maybe this is not the moment you're supposed to be canoodling with that person. Maybe that's the one that's going to take your life. Maybe that's going to be the woman that's going to set your life back. Stop trying to play a role that ain't yours. You already got one role. It's your life. Because I'm going to tell you what, just from a financial standpoint, I ain't never seen a person of wealth or financial independence do this. I want to be just like you. I want to be just like you. And the ones that, there are some that do that, but guess what happens? If it ain't real, it falls. Because everybody's got a starting point. Everybody's got a starting point. And anytime you turn around and take a shortcut, it cuts you short. And maybe that's the reason why you are stuck in that cycle. You're stuck in that cycle because you don't realize that you wasn't there. You shouldn't have been there. But here's the thing. You can stop the cycle the moment that you decide to look around and say, well, you know what? Here's my exit. No. I'm good. I'm good. Maybe this is something you're supposed to do on your own. Maybe this is the moment you'll have your epiphany and you say, you know what? We've been rolling, we've been rocking for years. And what have we done? Lost time. Some of y'all still doing the same thing y'all been doing for the last 8 years. Why? What you waiting on? What you holding out on? Or is God trying to tell you they ain't the one? This could be a family member too. Family, you have what we know is nepotism too. You just got to look at it and ask the question why. But it's not your responsibility to change anybody. It's your responsibility to grow. Maybe they're that way because they're looking for you silently to be the inspiration, to be the trailblazer. Come on now. So, congratulations, y'all. It's 2017. This is the season of the ant and the grasshopper. You're going to see a whole lot of grasshoppers playing around. They're going to be not on their focus. And you're going to be able to recognize an ant when you see them because they're on their grind. And they're going to see the course no matter what. But just know, this is for a spiritual moment. And when the blessings come, take them with humility. Take stock of what you've accomplished. But look at where you've been, y'all. So you actually think God don't have a purpose for you? Okay, watch this. Look at where you were 3 years ago. And look at where you are now. If you do not see any growth between that, you're still in that same, then that's your validation right there. That's not where you should have been the whole time. Because as long as you take in that precious air, that beautiful mind is open. That's what the Holy Trinity is all about. Mind, body, spirit, collectively they're together. And that's why when you see somebody that is healthy Their body has a glow about them. Their skin responds in tow, but their mind is sharp. Hmm. So tell me why you won't do it. Hmm? But that's okay. This is love, because I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show each and every one of you. Because Gerald got love for you. Gerald pray for you, and I hope I cannot stress this. If those who do not know, I have another channel. It's called Journey of a Man. Journey of a Man. All in caps. I would love for you to be a part of that channel, and I'm looking for you to subscribe. On that channel, you'll actually see a different aspect of this old room. Mm-mm. We're going to be talking about health. We're going to be stepping outside that door. I'm going to be showing you things, and we're going to be in the kitchen too. Because see, a lot of people don't know is, see, Gerald loves to cook. Oh yeah, these hands are registered. Oh yeah, they are. I'll make you something. You're going to be like, okay, when we get married. That's one thing that I will say that my family taught me, especially my mom told me a long time ago. She said, Gerald, you are not guaranteed that you will have a wife, but you are required to be able to wash your clothes, wash your ass, and feed yourself. And yeah. So no, I'm not just a peanut butter and jelly brother. I can whip some stuff up and make you want to move in. God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. Why? Because God loves you. Now the question is 2017, are you gonna love yourself back? Are you gonna actually have the courage to look at them fears? You know how we like to say, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Well, why don't you turn around and take that and look at those challenges and champion them one by one. And as you do that, spiritual doors will be open and spiritual protection will be placed down. Because guess what? Where you're headed, one by one, anybody that has had access to your life, you're going to reassess them and you're going to see if they deserve the right to hear you breathe, to share your dreams with. How about to walk with? That's what you need to do. I tell everybody, look at your cell phone. This is National Purge Day. Go on that cell phone and look at those contacts. And if at a minimum, excuse me, at a minimum, look at your contacts and be honest with yourself and ask yourself this: does this connection deserve to follow me in this year? Only you can answer that question. I hope you have a blessed week, a blessed year. And of course, listen, I want family. It's okay to subscribe to other channels. You do it all the time. So I know my subscribers on this channel is going to help grow. Because I've had people ask me, and I'm actually doing this for y'all because some of y'all want to see me focus on health. I'm going to do that. And plus, I'm giving you guys a view into my life because there's a lot of misconceptions. Like, oh, when you get old, you get feeble. No. One of my goals for this year, before the culmination of this year, is I want to be able to run 5 miles in 30 minutes. You got to be in health. You got to be in shape to do that, right? Love yourself. And it starts when you decide to be vulnerable with your heart, give a voice, and watch the transparency come with it. because you're priceless. Be blessed, y'all.